Hi, and welcome to the lesson Naming Any Note on the Guitar Neck in 5 minutes. Well, in order to do that, we basically have to know just two things. One, the names of the open strings, and two, the intervals between the 7 natural notes, or basically the C major scale. Alright, so let's start with the open strings. Now, the string that is closest to me, the bassiest, the thickest one, is the 6th string, also known as E. Alright, the next string is A, number 5. The one after that is D, the 4th. And after that is G, the 3rd, and B, the 2nd, and the first string is E also. So we got E, A, D, G, B, and E. We can write it down. Alright, so now that we know that, let's go over the intervals. Basically, there are 7 natural tones and 5 sharps and flats. Altogether 12 notes that are being used in Western music. So the 7 natural notes, or the C major scale, you can look at it as all the white keys on your piano are C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. Now the intervals are, we can write it down as well. Between C and D we have a full step. Between D and E we also have a full step. Between E and F we have half a step. Then between F and G we have full step. Between G and A we have full step, and between A and B also full step. Between B and C we have half a step. Alright? So basically there are 2 odd couples. Between E and F we have half a step, and between B and C we also have half a step. Now the rest of the notes have a whole step between them. Alright, so let's really look at the guitar neck for a second and see how it looks on the actual neck. Alright, so let's take for example note here. Now this note is a G note. It's located on the 3rd fret on the 6th string. Now if I play this note here and I want to go up a full step, I will go all the way to the 5th fret, and that will be an A note. Alright? If I play the same note, that G note on the 3rd fret, and I want to go down a full step, I will do the same thing, just down. I will go and end up on the 1st fret on this F note here. Alright? So that's the way a full step looks on the guitar. Basically there's 1 fret between 2 notes. Alright? So half a step will be just going to the next fret. So if I play a G note here and I want to go up half a step, I end up on the 4th fret, just the next fret up. If I want to go down half a step, just go down 1 fret and end up on a G flat or an F sharp on the 2nd fret. We'll talk about the sharps and the flat in a second. Alright, so now let's take these 2 ideas and see if we can figure out the name of any note basically we want on the 6th string for start. Alright, so we start with an E here. We talked about that. Now the interval between E and F is always half a step, regardless of the string or even the instruments that we use. Alright, so F has got to be here on the 1st fret, because the interval between E and F is just half a step. Now one thing you have to remember is that the interval between an open string, any of the open strings, and the 1st fret is half a step, always. It's like going from 1 fret to the next. So if I play E and F here, it's like playing E and F here. It's exactly half a step. Alright? So I got E, I got F. Now the interval between F and G is always a full step, so I end up on the 3rd fret. Alright, so that's G. Now the interval between G and A is also a full step, so I go to the 5th fret here. That's A. Now we always look at it as just alphabetically A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then after G we always go back to A. So I got to A here, the next note should be B. Now the interval between A and B, as we know, is a full step. So I go to the 7th fret, that's B. Now here comes one of the two odd couples. So between B and C there's always half a step. So C has got to be here, just half a step above B, on the 8th fret. Alright? So from C to D there is going to be a full step jump. So D is going to be here on the 10th fret. Alright? From D to E, also a full step. And then I end up on E on the 12th fret. As we can see, we got the same note as the note we started with, and that's good. That's what you want to have, because basically that represents an octave. So all the notes are in here all the way up to the 12th fret. Basically the guitar starts all over again from the 13th fret. So you got here the note F. It's exactly like F here on the 1st fret. So basically if you got an electric guitar and it has like 86 frets or I don't know, something crazy, and you want to know what the name of the notes that is here, basically all you need to do is learn the first 12 frets, and you can just repeat that, you know, on higher octaves as well. Alright, so let's take the next string just to figure out if we can do that on a different string. So the next string is actually the A string here, string number 5. Alright, so I play this open A, and then I know the next note is B, and then I also remember that the interval between A and B is always a full step. Okay, so the B will be here on the 2nd fret. Now the reason it's here on the 2nd fret and not on the 1st fret, because we said that the interval between any open string and the 1st fret is half a step, but we need full step. So A and B is a full step, so B is here. The 1st fret will actually be B flat or A sharp. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Alright, so we got A, we got B on the 2nd fret. Now between B and C, it's one of the odd couples. We got just half a step, so C got to be here on the 3rd fret. Now C and D is a full step, so D we have to jump 1 fret and go to the 5th fret, and we got D. Alright, so from D to E also a full step. On the 7th fret we got E. Now we came to the 2nd odd couple, E and F. E and F also just half a step. So if we got E on the 7th fret, F will be on the 8th fret. Alright? So now F to G is a full step. So G is on the 10th fret, and G to A, full step, and A again on the 12th fret. So we started with an A and we ended up on A, 12th fret. So that's exactly what we want. Alright, so basically that's the way you do it, and if you know the name of the open strings and the intervals, when there is a difference of or a gap of 1 step, or when there's an interval of half a step, basically that's all you need. But let's take it one step further and let's talk about sharps and flats for a second. Now, a sharp or a flat is a note that is exactly located between two natural tones that has a full step interval. So for example, if you got G here on the 3rd fret and A here on the 5th fret, we got this 4th fret between them, which is also a note. So basically this note is either a G sharp, because it's exactly half a step above G, or we can call it an A flat, because it's exactly half a step below A. Alright, so the same principle goes between every note that has a full step interval. For example, the second fret here would be F sharp or G flat. Now the reason is that F is here on the first fret, so half a step above F, we got F sharp. Now G is here on the third fret, so half a step below G is also G flat. So it's basically the same note, but we can call it in two different names. Alright, so that's pretty much the sharps and the flats. Now, why do we even need to bother learning all that stuff? Well, there are a few reasons, but one very simple and very basic reason that I would recommend learning that is even just playing bar chords. For example, a lot of people play this chord, and a lot of people know that's an F chord, but what happens if you want to play an F sharp or a flat or a B flat maybe? Basically, a lot of people get stuck in kind of when they want to play that kind of a thing, and it's very easy to do when you actually know the root names on top of the sixth string, because basically that shape, this shape here, it's just a basic major chord shape. So if we take this F shape, move it up half a step to F sharp, we got F sharp chord, and we know that just by knowing that this root here, the bass note here, is F sharp. So if you want to play like a B flat chord, you put it here, and that's a B flat, because the sixth fret here is a B flat bass or root note. Alright, so that's one reason. Another reason is to play different scales, to play different roots, of scale shapes and stuff like that, and even to build and come up with chords and realize, the name of the notes in chords, and really learn about harmony a little bit. And there are many reasons, and just getting to know your instrument better is good enough reason. Alright, so I would recommend basically to start with the sixth string and just take a day or two and kind of start with the open string and just play the notes like E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and just kind of play them and just say out loud the names of the notes. You can even sing them, and then after a day or two you can go to the fifth string and go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. You can even sing them. I try, fail every time, but you can probably do a better job. That's a good exercise. Singing the actual notes you play, that's pretty good, and you can do it on any string you want, and you will definitely benefit a lot by doing that, and you can continue doing different things with that. Alright, so have fun, and I'll see you next lesson.